I want to, talk a little bit about your Unilever GSK integration, where you said you played a PMO role. And so, what did that experience compress in terms of leadership, learning in the few years that you kind of did it? So, what did it take, and what did you learn that made you think about the new playbook for the CMO and the mental model that you run with today?
So the biggest thing, Swami, and every role has its own thing. Unilever, for all its amazing pieces, is also an extremely hierarchical organization, right? I mean, the grades matter, the designations matter, and rightfully so. Some of the senior leaders come with a lot of experience, and this particular role, I think, just broke all of that for me. So a lot of kudos in my head to Unilever to trust a young resource with something like this. I was what 8-10 years into experience, and this was a very large role across international markets. One of the most covered pieces on media for Unilever because it was one of the largest integrations in the FMCG space. And my initial pieces where you're figuring it out, right? I mean, one of the bigger roles where I was figuring it out every day, saying karna kya hai, like what do I need to do? I don't know supply chain. I don't understand so much about finance. Legal is beyond my understanding. My only conversation with legal so far was please approve the text on packaging. Is the lemon size okay on the detergent bar pack, etc.? But the complexities of an M&A across countries, cultural nuances, and plus it was a food product, so you can imagine the kind of complexities and regulatory requirements across countries. And I'm just thrown into it, right? And lots of trust from the organization, which also puts a lot of pressure on you, saying I cannot afford to fail because I've been handed over this responsibility. And after the first couple calls, when things were not moving, I had this chat with my then boss saying, I mean, you're putting me in rooms with CEOs, etc. We're discussing pieces around whether we should continue the brand, not continue the brand. What do you want me to do? Take notes, come back to you? He's like, take decisions. I was like, how can I take decisions? I mean, it doesn't make sense. At that time, it just seemed like, you're joking, right? I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do in these rooms. And he's like, Nika, your grade is at Unilever. That is an internal conversation. From the point of view of the project, you are the project lead and you are running the calls, you are running the shots. So you will be working with the various teams. You will come back with plans and share whether we continue, say, chocolate Horlicks in Africa or launch a separate product in South Africa. You have to discuss, understand, and come back. So you will have to stop thinking designations or grades, but think about the role that you've put into and come back and share that with the teams. And suddenly, it was like a switch that clicked in the mind, saying, often a lot of times our capabilities are limited by us. I don't know if you've seen that, and this Instagram doom scrolling sometimes gives you some very interesting concepts. So I saw
Yeah.
this video of this ant, on a piece of paper, and you keep drawing lines and it keeps going smaller and smaller because it thinks those lines are real fences for it. Grades and designations a lot of times are in our mind. It is what you do with the role that's given to you, irrespective of the level. Nobody's stopping you to go above and beyond. And I keep having that conversation with my teams, especially the younger ones, saying you don't have to stick to those guidelines, right? Who's stopping you to come up with an idea or a project or a plan? You're starting at a certain grade in an organization does not limit your thinking or capability. That role really taught me that, and that one conversation, opened up everything in my mind, and I did not look back. So through COVID, we handled that, and I think it was the entire international merger was a phenomenal success for the company, and it was at one conversation. So one, I got phenomenal trust from a company like Unilever, which by the way is a slow company, process driven company, and then they do things like this, saying a young resource can handle this, and they show such trust in their resources. And second, it's not just trust on paper. They empower you to sort of say, go ahead. You fall, you fail, we are there. Try not to fall and fail, but if you fall or fail, we are right here. And I think that has been a phenomenal piece for me. I don't think a lot of people get the opportunity and the right bosses, and I think I've been blessed, and that's very important. So in marketing, also being at the right place at the right time is very important, and I think I've been lucky that way.
Very interesting. So, when your boss said take decisions,
Yeah.
uh, So how did you go about it? Because you may not know a market,
Yeah,
you may not know a category, you may not know a consumer need,
yeah,
you may not know the competitive, uh, forces
yeah.
in these categories. So how did you go about taking those decisions?
I think that's where the marketeer piece comes in. So once you're pushed to a corner, Swami, I mean, I was somebody who had handled brands. So I built a beverage category at Cavin Care. I've launched categories for Cavin Care. I've built Rin, scaled Rin. I've worked on purifiers, which is one of the most difficult categories in India. So it's not like I didn't know how to do it. It was just about a limitation in my mind on I can't do it. I'm supposed to be doing PMO. But launching into markets, expansion, or killing categories is my core forte. I'm a marketeer. So I think even the company is smart, right? They hire for skill and they hand roles basis skill. And this role, while it required a large part PMO, had a very, very strong marketing requirement in terms of what do we do with portfolios across markets. And the playbook was very simple, right? I mean, once I knew I had to take decisions, then my PMO narrative shifted from just project management and timelines to sitting and spending time with the marketeers on the other side of the table
Hmm.
and taking their view because they understand. Like I said, it's not about me, right? They know their brand best. So I was a sponge. I was absorbing what works, what does not work, talk to the sales teams. I spoke to multiple people who influence and live the brand on a day-to-day basis, and then we came up with our plans, our recommendations. As Unilever, who's the most structured organizations, we layered our strengths, saying, if I have to kill something in a market where it is not working, it's not working because of, say, distribution. Unilever's largest strength is distribution. So we technically don't have to kill it. The moment Unilever takes it over, the distribution takes over and the brand can still work. So it's about figuring out what was working, what was not working, layering our strengths and weaknesses, and then submitting my decision or my plan to the board on this side. And then, anyway, it was something that was close at an overall level. But then the direction was very important, saying, I know exactly what I need to do, and this I know how to do. So it was about giving that power to the person, saying, come back with your plan. And then that also puts a lot of pressure. So a lot of research went into all of this before the plans could be submitted to the category leads on this side.
Interesting.